K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Kicking It with Isiah and Ace. And Isaiah's back now. So, okay, cool. My co-host is back. William Hudson is also dropping in saying, "What's up, dudes? What's up, my man? You're watching another episode of Kicking It with Isiah and Ace." So, Isaiah, how's it going tonight, my man?
Yeah, sorry about the technical issues there. I clicked the wrong button and it backspaced and it exited me out of the stream. But now I'm back, so it's good. Man, Ace, I missed you last week. We didn't do the show because I had to attend a dinner, so I couldn't do the show last week. But glad that we're able to do the show tonight. Both of us, we got the G, the G. That we were rocking, me with Georgia, you with the Green Bay Packers. So, yeah, it's like a G duo type of a program tonight on the air. But it's going to be a great show. We got a lot of topics to talk about. And hopefully if we have some time, we can I can get something that I really want to get off my chest.
All right, so let's not forget we got to welcome in that man that he's back again. Callan's back. That's right. Welcome him back. What's up, Callan?
Isaiah, never, ever jump to the conclusion I'm not going to be on this program, sir. Don't celebrate. Don't do anything. But good to see you, fellas, and thanks for the invite again. Literally getting home after calling some college basketball. Good to see you guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would have hopped on, but, as it's been, I've been in the process of moving. So I move, and then later on, I try and jump on the shows. And so that's kind of what I've been doing tonight. But, Isaiah's been very, very excited about the show because he shared this really interesting thing with me that he said if he had time, he wanted to get something off of his chest about a TV show that I think would actually shock a lot of people when he started talking about this particular TV show. And any guesses about what TV show he might be talking about?
Shaun the Sheep. Shaun the Sheep.
It's not Shaun the Sheep. Okay.
Yeah, I think I know. I
won't
won't spoil it. I think I know what it is, though.
You do think you know what it is. Okay. Well, We're not to that portion yet. We're not there yet because I said if he had time, he could talk about it. But we'll see if
good. I'll just give very long-winded answers and let this program go forever, and then we won't be able to get to it. How that?
And there's James. Welcome in, James.
Hey, how's everybody?
Christy Wilson is also popping in the comments section there saying, "Hey guys, can I join?" And then friends. No, I'm sorry. That is not the correct TV show. Friends is not the correct one. So no, that is not correct. I'm sorry, Christy. But I guess if she wants to hop on, somebody can.
Fair game. Let's do it.
Fair game. It's Kicking It with Isiah and Ace. So
come to the party. Welcome to the jungle.
Guest beware. That's all I can say. Guest beware. Okay.
Guy in square two. I agree.
Yes, absolutely. So we have some very interesting topics tonight. A few of these I really want to talk about because a few of them I found very interesting. And if you are a married individual, this one, and I know, Callan, you're saying no. James, I believe you are, right?
No,
you're not.
Sorry, Adam. Okay. You're the lone man on the island here for this program for this first segment.
Well, you know what? That's okay, though, because you can still talk about this because even though, you may not be married, I know that, everybody here has been in relationships before. So when it comes to it, I think people would kind of know how this feels. So number one, this guy goes to the airport, and when he gets there, the guy's like, you know what? I don't want to sit in the back of the plane. I want to upgrade to first class. I want some better seating. And so the airport goes, well, we can get you that, but the problem is we only have one seat available in first class. Well, the guy was at the airport with his wife, and the guy's like, okay, so what do we do? And the airport's like, well, I'm telling you, you either stick with the seats you have, or we have one seat available in first class. And the guy right there at the airport says, well, I'm sorry, hon. I guess you're staying. He picked up his bag and he boarded the airplane and he got in first class.
Oh,
And he got in
no.
first class and he ditched his wife at the airport.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, he completely just ditched her and said, "Hey, I want better seats, so I'm taking this flight and I'm leaving." Later on, he called his wife to see if she was catching a different flight, and she was like, "Nah, you're going on this trip by yourself now because I'm not showing up." So, and I know Isaiah's sitting there clapping. So, Isaiah, is this funny? Like, you're kind of laughing about this. So you tell me your thoughts on this.
It's extremely funny. It reminds me of a scene from Seinfeld, the TV show where Jerry and Elaine were going on a trip and they were supposed to sit together, I believe, in the economy class.
Economy?
Economy class. It was so bad. I'm sorry for messing that up.
7 minutes into the show, and we already have a blunder.
But I remember that they were on that plane together, right? They were sitting together, and then when they were checking in for their flight, the agent told them that they only had one ticket, and that was for first class. And I remember that Elaine was like, "No, we want to sit together. It's good." And then Jerry's like, I'll take it. And then he takes the ticket and leaves. And then Elaine is just like standing there like with that like look on her face. So it reminds me of that, that the man just takes off with it. The lady just is left there just standing. I'm surprised that she even got on the plane after that whole incident, but it reminds me of that. Like, it's really, really funny to see what that guy that you were talking about, Ace, did to his wife. And I'm pretty sure that, that there were probably some hard conversations after like they landed at the respective destination that they were going to. But for me, I've never been like in a serious relationship. But
Go figure.
That doesn't surprise me.
Why?
If it was Niners tickets, I'd probably do the same thing. But I hope my future wife is not watching.
Isaiah.
But if it was Niners tickets, you better believe it. But not for a plane ride. I'm sorry.
Well, why does this not surprise me that this is something that Isaiah would do? Like,
Because he's Isaiah, yes.
He's already coming out here saying if this was Niners tickets, he would do it. Like, so Callan, let me ask you this. If you're married and you want to update to first class, are you going to ditch your wife or girlfriend at the airport to get a first class ticket?
I mean, if that happens, they better have divorce papers ready for me to sign. If someone did that to me, like, okay, whatever, I'll sign my life away or whatever. But man, wow. I mean, that's definitely, I mean, now look, I'm 6'5" and I can't handle, the economy. I have to, at least try to get the exit row. I'll pay the extra like 30, 40, 50 bucks in the exit row, maybe first class every so often. Again, I don't fly very often. Hardly get out of San Diego, or at least I don't fly out of here very often. But yeah, I mean, with this thing though, yeah, there's going to be either a stern talking to when we get to the destination, or there's going to be divorce papers drawn up when we get back from the trip. So I'm more lean on more so, especially if you're married. I'm whipping up divorce papers when I get home, from the trip. I mean, that is absolutely terrible. That's a terrible thing to do. You're other. Come on now.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if I did that to my wife, I would. The thing is I would be scared to come home. Like, I would definitely be scared to come home.
I'd be scared to get off the plane and be at the baggage claim waiting, and then they just come and chew you out or what have you.
Is your baggage stuff going to even be there?
She'll just leave you for someone on the plane.
Is your stuff going to even be there when you get there?
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
You better sprint off that plane and get to the baggage claim and get your butt out of the airport, or you're in deep trouble.
Run for your life, pretty much.
Run for your life.
Run!
Yeah, because that stuff might actually be gone. Like,
Yeah.
if your wife
What
or
is that?
girlfriend sees that and you ditched her, she might be grabbing your stuff off the baggage claim and be hucking it outside.
She's
I mean,
like,
they
call
may
a
even-
cab. She's
I mean-
out of here.
I mean, hey, they may even be able to get into your bank account and freeze your account so you can't do anything, and change the password. You never know.
Good luck spending money, sucker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm gonna freeze that. So James, what's your thoughts on this situation?
I could imagine those two there at the desk, and it comes up, and the husband's like, you know what? This is a once in life opportunity, babe. I love you, right? Right? I love you. I'll buy you anything.
Just not a first class ticket.
Yeah.
Right. And I just imagine the disrespect she feels, but hopefully it's a hardworking husband, not one of those laid back ones that would
Yeah.
make it better. But I can just envision it. And then what Isaiah mentioned with Seinfeld, I never really seen that show,
Neither have
but
I.
I always wondered if those two ever hooked up like in the show. But I don't know what's her name and what's his name. Yeah, I don't know, but
Jerry Seinfeld and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
right.
Yeah.
But that's just a crazy thing, and of course it seems like every scenario in life where there's
Mm-hmm.
a faux pas, Seinfeld has covered it. That's for sure.
Rock, paper, scissors at the desk. Who
Crazy.
Let's see who gets first class.
Yeah,
That'd be a fair
well,
way to do it.
that'd
Well,
be
yeah.
a cool couple.
and you know what's funny though too. So since Christy is the female on the show and she's married, so
Yeah.
so
Very
she
much
could
so.
she could tell you as a female what she would do if her
Oh,
her
yes.
husband decided to be like, you know what, I'm upgrading to first class. You have to stay behind because I want the ticket.
He'd be in the doghouse
For how long?
as long as possible.
The whole trip, he's in the
Pretty
doghouse.
much. Until
Better
he
have some
begs for
explaining to do.
forgiveness, pretty
Separate
much.
hotel rooms.
Yeah, but what's funny though is the wife just went home. Like she never actually decided to go on the
That's
trip
Oh,
because
gosh.
she's like, my husband just ditched me. I'm gonna ditch him too. So
There you
it
go.
was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. My
she's like,
husband would
"I
be
don't
begging
about
and then
fair
he'd be
play."
saying he's sorry over and over and over again.
It won't make no damn difference.
Nope, it won't.
Trust
I'll be
me.
like, nope, you ditched me.
Yeah.
Trust me, my wife would be the same way. She would come out and just completely. She would be like, "Nah, you're doing this yourself." Or
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't even make it on the plane because she was.
The guilt.
Not only the guilt, but I would be looking behind me and I would have things coming at me like at
Yeah.
the back of my head. So I don't even think I would make it
Shoes,
that
luggage,
Purse, cell phone,
purse,
Oh,
wallet, pocket knife,
car keys.
car key,
food.
Yeah.
tomatoes,
Tomatoes, lettuce.
beer.
But I think we all vote that this is something that Isaiah would do.
Yes,
Totally.
it would be something Isaiah would do. I agree.
You would be in a relationship?
especially for 40 Weiner tickets.
Well, so Isaiah's saying that he's never actually been in like a serious relationship, and
Yeah, don't do it, Isaiah.
I can
Don't do it.
I can kind of see that, but in a way though, I could kind of see why Isaiah's not like.
You enjoy your freedom, Isaiah? Yeah. No, I don't
Well,
care what you do.
Well, I know
He doesn't sound
I
right
have
one yet.
been in like a semi one with some girl that I met in Texas, but it was
That's
like
weird.
kind of like a long distance thing, and
Right.
it just never
That
worked
doesn't
out.
count.
Oh, God.
Emailed you back, Isaiah.
That was a scam.
She emailed me back like 5 times, and then I think after she said something about like she didn't want her boyfriend to find out.
Oh,
no.
my.
You were the
And-
side dude.
Welcome to
Isaiah.
the friend zone.
No basket. It's a scam. No
Yeah,
basket.
it was.
Offensive foul.
I could imagine some kind of conversation that Isaiah's trying to have with like a female, and she was like, "Have you ever heard of this person?" Isaiah's like, "Yeah, isn't that like a singer?" And she's like, "No, that's a freaking actress. What are you talking about?" And just the craziest conversations.
Yeah.
funny story about that, actually. I was at the
Well,
Rangers ballpark, right? And I met an usher there that was working there. And I struck up a conversation with her. And we were talking about the Rangers players. And you know how the Rangers have a lot of young rookies and,
Right.
young players. And a lot of players like you probably have never heard about. So she was like, oh, your name is Isaiah. Do you know Isaiah Kiner Falefa? And I was like, is that a guy that played the ukulele in those Hawaiian music songs?
Oh my
And she was
god.
like, no, he's the
Jeez.
shortstop for the Texas
And
Rangers.
his sister played volleyball at Chaminade, and I got to announce her name when they played Point Loma this season.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
And I was so embarrassed that I immediately got red faced. It was
Dude,
so
it's called-
bad, but
It's called Google.
Yeah, Google is your friend.
I agree with Gene, by the way, Adam. Does he want to stay married and more so? And she agrees with me, though, or they agree with me. That would be divorce preparation time.
Mhm.
Oh, absolutely. It would be definitely divorce preparation time. And then, of course, my wife is the one who chimes in and then says, yeah, you wouldn't be coming home.
Take your ball and go home, Adam.
There you go.
Somewhere else.
Absolutely. So Isaiah, we all know you would, and so you and Google for some reason don't get along. I don't know why. You kind of speak
Isaiah is
before you
officially in a
research.
complicated relationship with Google. Simple as that.
Very much so. Very much so.
Very much.
So, when we talk about, relationships, so picture this, because our next topic is, so a lady was pregnant with twins, and she was about to have these twins, and they're asking her, they're like, what are you going to name your babies? So what she decides to do, because she couldn't come up with names, so she names these two twins the exact same name. First name, middle name, and last name.
Oh, jeez.
What?
God.
Yes, everything was the exact same name because she could not come up with names. Callan, what's your thought on this one?
I mean, my grandmother was that way. She literally named my aunt after the doctor who helped deliver her. His name was Victor, so she just called her Victoria for her name. I mean, there's like a gazillion John R. McClurgs on my dad's side of the family. They're all like, senior, junior, second, third, like George Foreman and his kids,
Yeah, there you
George
go.
1, George 2, George 3, George 4, so on and so forth.
Oh, yeah.
But yikes. I mean, naming the kids the same exact thing. I mean, there's like a running gag in my family of all the boys on my dad's side having, RP McClurg as their initials. And then when my dad came around, it became WRM for his. And then, when I came along, it ended up becoming Callan Patrick. It's just like, so there's like a theme of like, you have to have like R for your first name or P has to be your middle initial. But this one though, why? I mean, so is it like, so-and-so, like so-and-so senior, so-and-so junior? Like,
I was like, what?
come on now.
So
That's
would you think this is something that Isaiah would do?
Totally.
Yep.
Isaiah, is this something you would do? Would you name your kids the same first name? Middle name?
As badly as Isaiah loves for some reason loves the Phillies. I mean, he wants to name his kid after a guy who's in like Double-A right now, like Scott Kickham or whatever his name is. Like, really, dude?
Isaiah, give me your thoughts on
This
this.
is definitely something he would do.
Oh, no.
Well, here's the thing. I feel for the lady because she's kind of at a lose-lose situation, And the reason why I say that is because naming your children can be very, very difficult. Like, you can name them some generic name like Bob or, Jim or whatever.
No.
And then, or if you try to go like with a special name, they'll be made fun of, for the rest of their life for that name. So it's kind of like a lose-lose
Ask all the
situation.
kids in Hollywood, Isaiah. There's a lot of them with extremely weird names.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Look at the people who've named their kids, A, B, C, D, E.
Exactly.
North.
But, I mean, as far like for me, I've told Callan this in the past. I want to name my kid not after a Phillies minor leaguer, Callan. It's after the former San Francisco Giants pitcher, and his last name was Kickham. And I'm like, that's a
No.
great name. It's unique.
You're not even a Giants fan.
No.
Well, it's spelled Kickham, but
Isaiah, you would be better off naming your kid after an Oakland A's legend.
Which
I
is
don't
not,
even know-
Which is not Sean Murphy, Matt Chapman, or Matt Olson.
I don't even know
Mark
if Isaiah
McGuire?
knows an Oakland A's legend.
Kurt Suzuki,
No.
Nope.
Crisp.
What?
Coco Crisp would be a funny
No.
No.
Kurt Suzuki. Let me explain something to you, Isaiah. Kurt Suzuki kind of became a bigger name.
With the Nationals.
Yes, with the Nationals.
Bingo.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind naming my kid Kickham. I mean, it's a great unique name.
So let me get this straight, though. So let me get this straight, though.
Kindergarten.
Let me get this straight. So if back when I was younger, where you would, take paper and write something on the back of it and stick it on your classmate's back, and it says "kick me" on it, do you want your kid to be
Yeah.
You're setting your son up for failure, Isaiah.
Exactly.
And what a bullying if that happens.
Hey, and if I had a daughter, I would name her Strawberry.
No.
Yes.
No.
I would name her Strawberry.
Oh my
What the-
god. No.
That
I
sounds
feel
like-
sorry
No.
for whoever Isaiah
unique.
marries,
Yeah.
and his wife
We're
is
really
like,
gonna have to talk.
you
her
get to
into,
name the
let's
child."
name our daughter Strawberry.
I'm naming my kids Luke and Leia. Simple as that.
"Oh yeah, Luke and
Perfect.
Leia, love it."
You don't even know who that is. Who those
You don't know
people
who they are,
Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Is it? Those are the brothers and sisters from Star Wars. Yeah.
Oh, let's give them a round of applause here.
Yeah, standing ovation.
Yay!
I'm gonna
He
ace
started
Star
learning.
Wars trivia tonight.
No, you're not.
We're not doing it. Then we're not doing that tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways,
You wouldn't ace it anyway.
James, your thoughts on this?
Well, it reminds me of that Michael Jackson song, but it goes a little differently. If you can't name your baby, then don't have a baby. No.
I'm trying to think what song here.
Oh, what's his? The lyrics go like, "If you can't take care of a baby, then don't have a baby," or whatever. But I guess the easiest thing she could do, or if she's a big Dr. Seuss fan, is just go thing 1 and thing 2.
Beautiful.
That's all I could think
Awesome.
of. It would be hard telling them apart. They would have to have different color hair, which is a thing nowadays.
Oh, I
Yeah.
feel bad for her if they're identical twins, by the way.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
they are.
Yeah.
They are.
Oh, it's even
They are
Oh, my
identical
God.
twins.
Yeah, that would be horrible.
No, they are identical twins. Yikes.
And then the name,
That's it.
the name Strawberry, I could think of, like a 2 a.m. certain club, and the name Strawberry is announced. And you don't want your daughters being in that type of business.
Especially
Well,
if you're in
So
Vegas.
there you
Oh,
go.
I could-
dear
I
God.
can imagine Isaiah. Meet my $2. This is strawberry. This is
And
blueberry.
raspberry.
Or this is strawberry and this is shortcake.
Oh man, pumpkin pie.
This is peanut and this is strawberry. They're named after peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
There you go.
Hot pumpkin pie.
If Isaiah got married, this would be the bad part, right? Isaiah got
Right.
married. He's about to have a kid. His wife is like, she's like, yeah, she's out of it because she went into labor, and Isaiah's like, she told me to name the kid. So
No.
on the birth certificate, this is what I want you to write. I want you to write Strawberry as a name, and then the wife like wakes up later. She was like, Strawberry.
Trey
The next
Lance.
thing she's gonna say, they're gonna kill you.
Trey, yeah, it could be like Trey.
Trey Reeves. Trey Reeves.
Trey Reeves.
Kirby?
Oh god.
Kirby?
Kirby would be another one too.
Are you?
Hey,
Like
there's
the
only,
back-
there's
Kirby
only
Puckett?
one person allowed to be called Kirby. That's Kirby Puckett of the Twins,
Yeah, exactly.
or Kirby from Super Mario World.
There you go.
That's it.
That's it.
All right, Christy, what's your thoughts on this woman naming her identical
It's
twins? the
ridiculous.
same
I
name?
mean, has she not ever heard of a baby book before? There's so many of them out there in the market. You can just buy one and look up whatever name you want.
There's a lot of names out there, but people
There are.
struggle
I
with
mean,
it.
in my case, my name was supposed to have a D, but my grandmother badly objected to it to my parents. So they're like, okay, we're gonna give this baby a name with the letter K in it. So
Are you
I
telling?
became
So
Christy.
if you took out the K
Right.
and put in a D, it'd be
No,
like
it was
Dristy.
supposed to be. I think my
It'd be
mother told me this
Christy.
a long time. It was supposed to be Denise. I think was supposed to be my original
Oh.
name,
Okay.
which is
Well-
really ironic now because I have an aunt by that name. So
Well,
Is
I
your
was
middle
just
name start
curious.
with a D?
weird.
Yeah, I was definitely curious because that part you just said that I ended up with the K instead of the D, and I was like, so Dristy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Did your middle name have a D?
no, it's a J.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
So something that probably a lot of people don't know, since we're talking about names,
Right.
my middle name has actually kind of gone down in generations, but my middle name is actually named after a cartoon.
Ooh.
Garfield.
No, no, Adam Garfield.
Yeah.
No,
Adam West.
So,
My
I was
middle-
about to say that.
my middle name is actually Marvin.
Marvin.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, Marvin the Martian.
Marvin the Martian. I hate the
Where's
baby.
the kaboom? You're supposed to
I
be
hate to be the
here.
bearer of bad news, Your Airness, but if you're going to find a fifth player, your team will
Mhm.
forfeit the game precisely for altitude.
Well, so Mess Around Dave saying, "What's up, guys? What's up, Mess Around? Hope you're having a good night."
I mean, just in my perspective, my first name is my mom's maiden name, so that's where my name comes from.
Mhm.
So Ishmael saying, "Good evening, guys. Good evening,
Hey.
Ishmael. Hope you're having a good
What's up,
night."
man?
And then Mess Around is saying that his middle name is Lopez.
Dave Lopez Esparza?
Yeah,
Cool.
Dave Lopez Esparza.
I dig it.
Yeah. That's cool.
And Brandon saying, "What's up, Ace, Callan, James, the second lady of C2C Christie, and then the C2C Village Joker."
The court jester of C2C.
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
man with a biblical name.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and jump into our next topic, which is, so there was a man who attempted, because he didn't like the mandates that they put out.
Right.
So he attempted to call Ottawa. Now, he thought he was calling Ottawa, Canada. So he attempted to call Ottawa, Canada, and
Mhm.
wanted to place a bomb threat and make the cops run all around in Ottawa. But
Mhm.
what ended up happening was, because this guy lived in Ottawa, Ohio, so he actually ended up calling his own hometown, calling it a bomb threat.
What a
And
dope.
they ended up tracing his number, and they found him after he called it a bomb threat.
Jeez.
And he's like, "How'd you know? I called Canada." Like, no, you called Ottawa, Ohio. You called exactly
Said,
where
what a
you live.
dope.
So, Isaiah, what'd
This is
you
also
think on
something
this one?
Isaiah would do.
It's not would do. It's has done. Not the bomb
What?
thing, but something else.
What? Oh,
Oh my
Okay.
god.
okay. FBI, if you're
Oh,
watching,
no.
I'm not here.
A
And
bomb
Cal
threat.
just left the set.
He just left.
He's
Callan has left the
like,
building.
"See ya."
I got nothing to do with it.
That's a scary thought.
Isaiah, what are you saying you did?
So this was Callan. This ties into you too.
What?
It's something.
Are you
far,
trying to get Callan involved in something?
it's
Like, is
something
this like?
far less severe? So you remember how I
Calling
was
the cops on your sister because she wouldn't make you fried rice is not a reason to call the police,
Oh
Isaiah.
my god.
So here's the thing. I never told you this, but I was actually going to mail Callan a keychain for his belated Christmas gift. So what I was gonna do is have my sister. I was gonna mail it down to one of my sisters who lives in Ontario, California, and she was gonna take it to Callan's address in San Diego, and so I put this in the mail, right? I put it in the mail. But what I forgot was my dumb self forgot to write California.
Wow.
I put CA, right? I put CA, Ontario, CA. I just found out 3 days ago that that envelope that has Callan's gift in it went to somewhere in Ontario, Canada. I don't know where it went,
Gee,
but
what?
it went to Ontario, Canada, because I forgot to put CA USA. I don't know why. Like, it's supposed to be like that. I don't know. I didn't know that. For some reason, it went to Ontario, Canada.
Mm.
I've been trying to figure out why Callan's gift never made it to San Diego.
You
Now I
don't even
know
have
the
my address.
Well, no, I do have your address from last year's Secret Santa, but then
You tried
know-
sending me something else, and it went to your sister's dorm at UC San Diego.
Jeez.
but yes, this is what happened. But in terms of that story that you're talking about, Ace, I mean, I feel bad for the guy because I've had something similar, not like that severe, happen
Uh-oh.
to me. You know, this is why if you're gonna have a city that is named, you know, let's say Ontario, for example, or Ottawa, somewhere in a different country, you shouldn't be allowed to have it in another
Okay.
country.
Let's not blame this on Canada or the USA. Okay, this is this guy's stupidity for not paying attention to what
This
he's
is
doing.
literally something Isaiah
Exactly.
would have done.
Mm-hmm.
So let's clear that up right now, Isaiah. That was completely this guy's 100% fault. This is not a blame game on the United States or Canada.
Well, yeah, I blame what that guy did for his utter
Sure didn't sound like it,
lunacy,
sir.
But I'm blaming my post office incident on the United States of America for copying Canada for the whole thing with Ontario.
No.
Come on, US.
Really? Really? That's what it's gonna be? You're really gonna do that?
I've never had that situation happen to me, to be honest with you. That like I'm mailing something somewhere and then it goes to a different country because I forgot to put USA. I've honestly like that's why I was so
User
shocked.
error. A workman does not blame his tool, sir. That is on you, not on USPS.
Ah. Sorry, Isaiah. Sorry, Isaiah. You know what, Callan? You can save Isaiah on this one. Give me your thoughts on this.
For one, bomb threat. Come on now. Let's be more civil, folks, regardless of what you think of what's going on in the world right now. Secondly, I nearly made a similar blunder when I was sending NBA champion DJ Shauner Nichols a birthday card a couple years ago. I wrote Milwaukee, W, but I wrote an A inadvertently. I had to go over and write an I. It thankfully went to her address still in Milwaukee. But ever since, you know, like then, I mean, I very seldom do I send anything out via snail mail anymore. It's always email or texting, obviously, because of the times we're living in right now. But I mean, there is a San Diego, Texas. There is a, you know, like San Diego and Mexico somewhere too. So, you know, San Diego, California is obviously one of them. This is also though why I never abbreviate California anymore as CA because of that thing with Canada. Now I abbreviate it as CALIF dot. Period. That's how I abbreviate California now.
That's
And I even
cool.
do that now with other states though, because like you may never like you can literally write Phoenix AZ and it can be sent to freaking New Zealand for all that we know. So, but I mean, again, you know, bomb threat. Come on, you know, let's be better people. But I mean, I've been there, and it can be confusing with like you know, I think there's a Milwaukee, Oregon, I think too, or like a Milwaukee, Washington. You know, but you know, thankfully I caught my mistake and you know put WI instead of you know of what I was going to write though, and things like that. And actually, you know, I remembered, or I was watching the Olympics this morning. It was some event, and I said, "Oh, this person's from Fall Dovers, Virginia." And I saw the abbreviation, like, "Oh wait, she's from Vermont, not Virginia." So, yeah.
So we have a few comments that are rolling in here, and Brandon's saying,
Wait, Isaiah. He wants to know. Wait, Callan, what are you talking about with this? With this calling the cops because somebody's sister did not make him rice.
That
Explain.
guy right there told me he called the cops on his sister one day for not making him rice. That guy right there.
Explain,
That's like
Isaiah.
legitimate. That's like a legitimate thing. He did that.
It's
Yes.
amazing what you learn.
How young were you, Isaiah?
Quick disclaimer, folks. I was 8 years old when I did that. It was something that happened. No, I wasn't 8. I was like 6, I think, when I did that. But what happened was, this was when I was like 6, and I got mad at my sister for not cooking rice for me, but it was not helping me scoop rice out of the rice cooker. I legitimately called 911. But you know the thing is, I called 911, but I didn't say anything to them. I called them, and then I let it ring, and then I put the phone down, and then the next thing I know, 30 minutes later, my folks get a call like, "Oh, we got the fire truck, the ambulance, the police cars down at the bottom of the apartment that we were living." and it was a long conversation, I'll say that.
Yeah.
But we all do something stupid when we're young, huh?
I never called the police in my
Me
time
neither.
growing up.
Never done
Neither did I.
that. Never done that, man. And then Ishmael saying Isaiah's perfect name for his son would be Trey Stetson Austin Devin Reeves Leong.
And when the baby vomits, he's like, finally, somebody Reeves have vomit on me.
Yes,
Oh,
he
man.
would.
Yeah.
He would. It would be a thing. It would be a thing. It would definitely be a thing. All right. So, James, what's your thoughts on this guy calling the wrong Ottawa?
This is going to sound like a Jay Leno monologue joke, but the first rule of calling in a bomb threat, knowing where to call it correctly.
Exactly.
That's all I got. Just don't call a bomb threat. Don't do anything stupid like that.
Right? Yeah, you shouldn't even do that. And then when you do, you make a mistake like that, and then they show up at your front door and you're like, how'd you know? Well, you called freaking Ottawa, Ohio, you dummy.
You know what? You should get more jail time if you make a mistake like that.
Tack
Oh,
on
yeah,
another
Add
year.
that on to your charges. They should add a charge to that.
My question about this whole thing though is, why does this guy care what the hell Canada's doing? Like that's
Like, what's the
you live in the
point?
He
United
lives in
States.
Ohio, for heaven's sake.
It's like,
Yeah,
my
that's what I'm
God.
saying. What is the point?
I mean,
He
yes,
watches
I'm
the
bitter
news
that
too
they
much.
beat Team USA in women's hockey too, sir, but come on now. We don't have to resort to that now.
Nope.
Right? So, Christy, what's
And
your
it's all
thoughts?
your fault that we lost too there, sir.
Jinx. No, back to the topic at hand. What an idiot. That's all I gotta say. What an idiot.
So Brandon
Add that to the show World's Dumbest.
There you go.
Mhm.
So Brandon saying scary to think of Isaiah having kids. It actually is when you think about it. That would actually be very, very scary. Imagine a baby Isaiah and Isaiah Jr.
We don't need a baby Isaiah.
That makes me think of baby Thanos. Stop. I've been
Oh,
traumatized
God,
by
no,
Marvel
not
enough
Thanos.
as is, Adam. I don't need to have that picture in my head now when I go to bed tonight.
No.
Don't forget about Baby Yoda too.
Oh, come on. Baby Yoda is cute.
Well,
Why?
because not
And he can use the
only
Force.
I can imagine this now. Okay. There's an Isaiah Jr. There's a baby Isaiah. Okay. And we're getting ready to go live on a show. And Isaiah's like, hey, my special guest tonight is my son. And don't worry, I've taught him everything I know.
That's even
my
worse.
Passed down from generation to generation. That's
20
sports take.
years later.
Oh my God. It's the revenge of Isaiah. He's back.
Oh.
And he still doesn't know Star Wars and Marvel and pop culture and things like that.
Nope. No, he doesn't.
He's back. All right.
He's
Well,
back
so-
again.
we can jump to our next one, which is so there's this study out, and I don't know how many of you actually eat hot dogs,
Sparingly.
but
Mhm.
so there's this study that came out that supposedly that eating one hot dog takes 35 minutes off your life. Eating one hot dog.
I think I recall hearing about that study
Mhm.
actually fairly recently.
Never heard of it.
Well, yeah, they had that one about hot dogs, saying that for every hot dog you eat, it takes 35 minutes off your life. But they also said that if you eat a pound of bacon, it takes a year off your life. So I think a lot of us would actually already be dead, I think, if bacon took a year off your life. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I've eaten a lot of bacon in my time.
Bacon.
Bacon, bacon, bacon,
Bacon-
bacon, bacon.
Bacon goes good with everything.
Yes, it does. I
Like,
agree.
yeah.
absolutely everything. So,
Yum.
James, do you like hot dogs?
Sparingly, like Calvin said. I haven't had one in a while, so I guess whenever.
James is about to DoorDash one from Wiener Schnitzel.
No. Oh, no.
Weird.
If they're even open still this late at night.
I don't know. You know, I was wondering about the bacon thing. Okay, if you have bacon bits, is that like half of like 6 months off your life?
I don't know.
That'd be funny. I was thinking there's probably worse things you can eat, and I wonder if there's a study on that. You know, and then there's always like these random studies to really scare people.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Probably
just tell people, you know, put whatever you want inside you, and just go from there. Don't worry about how many years you got in your life. Just enjoy it.
Right? It's because I watched a TV show, and when I watched this TV show, it was brilliant because the dad was like in his 70s, and his daughter comes out, and he's like, well, you're not eating any pizza, and she was like, no, I'm on your diet. And he's like, oh, you kids and your diets these days, I'll tell you what, back in the 60s and 70s, we died of massive coronaries, and we liked it.
Remember back then, they put like real butter, real sugar and stuff.
Oh,
Cocaine
man.
cola back then.
Yeah,
Cocaine
and those
cola.
people live forever.
We died of coronaries, and we liked it. We didn't care. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Sounds like my boss at work.
Huh?
Sounds like my
Elaborate-
boss. Sounds like my
elaborate,
boss at
please.
work.
Elaborate.
My boss is a guy that loves the old times. He's always out here telling me about how, you know, I wish America went back to, you know, spanking kids when they did something wrong in class, or I wish that, you know, nobody dieted, or this and that and this and that.
I bet he was like, man, I wish for the old time before Isaiah worked here.
Oh my god.
That too.
So,
Kidding. Isaiah.
speaking of food, I knew I smelled something, and then my wife just brought me in eggs and sausage.
Ooh.
Okay, where's the waffles and pancakes at?
There's
Mhm.
syrup.
Right?
Ritz.
Corned beef
bacon.
hash too.
No.
No, he's like, no.
No.
That was
It's a
immediate.
grits and
And
gravy.
Isaiah comes
Oh,
up with
yeah.
the box of Cheerios.
Cheerio. So you randomly have
like
a box of Cheerios?
Yeah.
In his dresser drawer.
You don't have milk?
Gotta
In
see
my
the stash.
In my house, I actually currently have 10 boxes stocked up in my garage area because I
Oh,
love
that's
cereal.
cool.
Doomsday out here, sir?
Yeah, I'm all ready for
Quit hoarding all the
doomsday. I got
groceries there,
Cheerios.
sir.
Everybody went out and got toilet paper. Isaiah went for the Cheerios.
They were 3 for, I believe it was 3 for
I
like
don't
9
think anybody
bucks.
asked you, sir.
So I stocked up.
So now you randomly have Cheerios in your room.
Yes.
Make a wall
Those
of Cheerios.
Cheerios.
Why?
You didn't do like honey nut, you know, the other.
He
You
picks
just
the
got all
original, the
plain?
dullest flavor of Cheerios.
Yeah. Ugh.
He could have picked apple cinnamon. He could have picked
Honey nut, chocolate. When he goes with
chocolate,
the
that
bland
sort of
and
thing.
boring
He had to
kind.
pick Honey Nut Cheerios
Without
Twix.
milk too. I don't
Oh.
eat Cheerios or cereal with milk or any of that stuff. I just eat it plain. I'm an OG. I just take it and just put it in my mouth and we're good to go.
My 5-year-old does that.
I can't eat cereal without the milk. Sorry.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter if it's Cheerios or Fruit Loops.
Which do not belong on baked potatoes there, Square 2.
No, they don't.
Mhm.
I do. You're right. I can't really eat cereal without like liquid. So sometimes I even put coffee. I put
What
coffee.
in the world? Are you,
Black coffee
Dude.
mixed with cereal.
God,
It's good,
yeah.
bro. It's amazing.
dude?
It's
Coffee and cereal. What in the
That is
world?
Your teeth
gross.
must be stained a really different color than everybody else's.
it's killing two birds with one stone. It's
Says the guy who
That
doesn't
is
use deodorant.
disgusting.
my breakfast plus I get my coffee in. It's great.
That I don't even know what to say anymore.
Mm.
I thought I've heard it all.
He must smell when he goes out in public.
Like, I honestly,
What do you say to something like that?
There's not much to say. There's
No,
not
Invest
there
in some
isn't.
Tic Tacs, Isaiah.
Yeah.
like I know before we started doing this coast to coast network. I know when I was back in I think it was my like 8th grade year in school or my freshman year or whatever it was in school, I had a buddy of mine. We called him Skippy, and so we called
Did you
it.
work for the peanut butter company?
Well, no. So actually, the thing is like typically when you give somebody a nickname, it's pointing out a flaw. It's something
Right.
dumb that they've done. So when we were in high school, we almost got completely deleted from the computer at school because we had skipped so many classes. So we nicknamed him Skippy, and so
Genius.
so we used to have. And yeah, so back then my nickname was Ace, so I kind of brought it over to this. So we had the Ace and Skippy show, and basically what we did is we'd go live on YouTube and stuff, and we would just go in the cupboard and find the most random stuff and just mix it around in bowls and be like, here, just try it, and we just pick it up and take a bite, and you're like, and some things the minute it hits your gut, you're like.
Imodium, Alka-Seltzer, Pepto.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh, absolutely.
Pepsid.
The minute it hits, it was like, but this is the guy that I did a lot of stupid crap with. I even pulled an Isaiah when I was hanging out with this guy, and the reason I'm saying I pulled an Isaiah was we went to this pizza joint during the day, and there was a waitress there, and the guys are like, why don't you talk to her, get her phone number, blah blah blah.
No.
And so I was like,
Uh-oh.
I was like, all right guys, I got game, don't worry, I got this. So everybody, but he was like, all right, let's see this. So she came up and she was kind of passing us, giving us water, and I was like, okay, cool. So I'm sitting there, I'm sipping this water, and she comes back and she was like, can I get you guys anything else? And so I was gonna talk to her, and I was like, actually, you can. And she was like, what's that? And I'm like, good water.
Oh my god.
And she was like, what? And I was like,
Oh.
I froze. It was the same guy that.
Oh no.
Yes, the same person. I'm in Walmart, and we're trying.
Oh no,
yes,
not Walmart.
yes,
No.
and these two girls were there. We were trying to talk to them, and so he's like, get their phone number, and I was like, okay. So I go up, and I was like, can you help me? And they go, yeah, sure. What's up? And I was like, I'm looking for the cosmetic aisle, and and they kind of look at me funny, and I was like, I was like, what is so funny? And they're like, well, two things. Number one, you're a guy, you're asking for the cosmetic aisle.
Right.
And they go, and number two, if you look right now, you're on the cosmetic aisle. I was like,
Oh my god.
so, Callan, now that I shared a funny story, you got to share a funny story.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I really have much to muster with this. The whole thing about the hot dog and the year off the life. First of all, sir, don't you dare disrespect Wiener Schnitzel, one of the best hot dog places down here in Southern California. James knows what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm more of. I mean, if you were to have like the food debate of like dogs versus burgers, I would lean towards burgers because I just don't really eat hot dogs that often. But I mean, there's I think there's like studies for like everything that you do nowadays in some capacity. I mean, we talk about like, dieting and stuff like that. Simple. Don't smoke.
Smoke.
I mean, if there's one thing to quit, that'd be smoking, drinking, maybe even, which I do for every Lent period during the spring. But I mean, is there like, I kind of want to know sometimes about these studies if they're being done for like actual science or if they're more of like scare tactics to like deter people from eating to eat.
Probably scare tactics.
I'm thinking scare tactics.
Yeah, I really think it is. So anybody have any final thoughts on this hot dog?
I think it's stupid. It's a scare tactic.
If it's true, then that means my life will probably end sometime in the next 3 weeks because I love hot dogs. I mean, I literally eat a hot dog. I literally eat a hot dog every week. Like
You're
once
the
a
same
week.
guy who challenged Joey Chestnut. That's not happening, sir.
God.
I literally eat a hot dog every week, so I hope that this study isn't true. Especially when I go back to work for the A's, I'm eating hot dogs almost every single day. So yeah, hope it's not true. And Costco's hot dogs are the best, not Wiener Schnitzel's, Callan. It's Costco. Costco and their big hot dogs that they boil them and then fry it a little bit.
It tastes like
For
rubber.
Nathan's hot dogs
no, thank
myself.
You. Nathan's, Farmer
Nathan's
John,
is the best
Wiener
hot dog.
Schnitzel.
I thought Farmer John's was a farm.
No, Isaiah.
What?
Farmer John? No.
Dairy farm.
No.
No, they make hot dogs and bacon.
Ooh.
Bacon.
No, wait.
Bacon.
Turkey bacon.
Bacon.
Am I
Turkey bacon.
good?
No, we're not talking about turkey bacon, man.
I'm not going to die, right? If I eat
Isaiah
turkey
loses
bacon,
again.
I'm good, right?
I guess. I mean, apparently it's just
I
regular
think the
bacon.
last
man.
legitimate time I had bacon, I was at California Adventure at the Avengers campus eating a peanut butter, candied bacon, and jelly sandwich at the Avengers
Whoa.
campus.
That sounds
Wow.
good.
Really good.
So Isaiah makes a funny face about that, yet the crap you eat, and you make a funny face about that.
Hey, I have some hot dogs in the fridge. I was thinking about cranking
God.
up the grill or not grill, but the oven just
Cooking with Isaiah is not happening either, Isaiah.
Nope.
You go out there and wake everybody up while they're sleeping.
I can already see the wheels spinning to where Isaiah's like, well, let's see. I have a box of Cheerios and I have hot dogs in the fridge. I think the wheels are spinning, and he's like, "What if I take the hot dog and mix it with the Cheerios?"
Let's go round and round, round and round, round.
And have a cup of coffee on the side with it, just because.
Put some strawberries on it too to make it a full not 5 quarters, but a full 5.
Oh my gosh!
No, that's like a disgusting
That
concoction.
is disgusting, dude.
You got
All right.
meat, veggie.
Okay. So Isaiah, guess what? We have just enough time to where you can do your little rant that you have.
Do we really have to hear about Arthur being canceled by PBS?
I'm gone.
Is that what he wants to rant about?
Yes, about Arthur.
Oh boy.
Jeez.
I'm out.
Back when he's done.
Well, today is probably the saddest day for everybody. For everybody like 30 and under, it is probably the saddest day of all time because Arthur was a huge part of our childhood. It was there for 26 years, I believe. And I mean, everybody grew up with it. Every morning you wake
No.
up, you get your little waffles, your little Eggos, your little
No.
bacon and eggs. You just sit down, plop next to the TV, and you just turn it on, and
Sports
Arthur's on. And
Ugh.
it was just an iconic show, and I mean it taught you a lot of life lessons. Obviously, I remember that's what I was doing before I went to kindergarten and even school back in the day.
Nope.
Just watch Arthur beforehand, and then I would go to school, and it's just heartbreaking that I know all things are supposed to come to an end, but I mean Arthur's like Family Guy. It's like
No.
that doctor thing that Stephen A. Smith appears on. It's like Bob's Burgers. It's a TV show that's supposed to go on and on and on and on for 50 years, and it's just an iconic TV show in American TV history, and it's just sad, so sad that it's actually ending. And I heard that the last episode of Arthur, the finale,
They all die.
they're gonna show an episode where all the characters are adults. They're all grown up to adults. So you're gonna see, your Arthur, your Francine, I forgot the girl that's like super spoiled because she's so rich. I forget her name, but she's gonna be
know it.
the T-Rex looking, yellow guy is gonna be grown up too.
The show or no?
Even Kate is gonna be grown up too. When I saw that today from CBS News, a part of me just died, man. Like it's so heartbreaking, man, that Arthur's actually ending, man. I grew up with this show, and they are actually ending this show, man. I really hope that our U.S. government does something about it. Maybe put it in
Maybe we'll do a thing about it.
U.S. government?
Yeah, put in the U.S. Constitution. There's 27 amendments. Put the 28th Amendment that Arthur needs to stay forever. Arthur is a iconic show that should never.
Someone please mute his mic.
Cut his mic off. Yeah. Here's the
Oh my-
thing. What's even more iconic than Arthur is Sesame Street.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you.
Big Bird, Bert and Ernie, Oscar the Grouch. You learn life lessons. They had a lady who could, who was hard of hearing. She could do sign language. They had people who were, spoke Spanish and all that other stuff. And you learned so much from that as a kid. Not a show like Arthur.
Shaun the Sheep. Like
Shaun the
it was Shaun the Sheep.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It would be truly heartbreaking if Sesame Street went off the air. That would be devastating.
It's safe to come back, Cal, and he's done.
Yeah, come on, Cal. You
Are
can
you
come
sure
back
about
now.
that?
It's okay.
So Ishmael's saying the T-Rex looking yellow guy. You mean Binky?
Binky,
I don't know
that's
who he's
right.
referring to by that. Oh, Binky.
So,
Binky? Sounds like it.
but are you also forgetting about like Clifford and Curious
Oh,
George
God.
and all that?
Clifford. The big red
Clifford,
dog.
Curious
Curious
George.
George.
Garfield.
Pink Panther. Phineas and Ferb too.
No, I'll tell you what. Garfield though is an all-time classic.
Yes.
Garfield.
Who
is an
doesn't love
absolute
that
classic.
lasagna eating cat? I know I do. I love that lasagna eating cat.
I hate Mondays.
Yeah, I hate Mondays. I love lasagna.
That was an iconic show. Garfield was definitely iconic. Just
Garfield
like
It's still an
Odie off the
iconic
table.
comic strip too.
yeah, just like Peanuts.
Mhm.
Good grief.
Very iconic.
I even once got a beagle because I love Snoopy so much.
Did you name him after Snoopy? I hope.
No, it was a girl dog. I named her Molly.
Oh, that's one of his
Aw.
sisters, though.
Snoopy.
Garfield had sisters?
What?
Are you serious?
Where do you get Snoopy from Garfield?
We're talking
I don't know where you get Snoopy
Snoopy.
from Garfield. Garfield is a cat with a fondness for lasagna. Snoopy is a
Speaking of
dog who
Garfield.
sleeps on top of his doghouse and fights the Red Baron.
Curse you,
And his best friend is a bird.
I thought you guys were talking about Garfield.
We were, and then it transitioned.
Speaking of Garfield, there, guys. Howdy.
Odie! Oh, there he is.
Hey, that's cool.
And speaking of the Peanuts gang, howdy.
Snoopy. I have a Garfield.
Snoopy.
It means I have to
Garfield.
go downstairs and get him. Plush Garfield got 7 years old. I love that thing. It's been with me everywhere.
So did everyone see Isaiah's little rant about Arthur?
What was that now?
I can almost imagine the confusion on both
Hail
Mr.
the
and
King
Piggy's
Arthur!
faces.
Long live the king!
Yes, Sword in the Stone.
That is my next
Isaiah was
tattoo
going off on a rant because they were canceling the TV show Arthur.
on
Who's
PBS.
that, James?
Is that? I think it was Rubber Ducky for Sesame Street. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Rubber Ducky,
My little
you're
good luck
the
charm.
one.
My little good luck charm.
I think that was Ernie from Bert and Ernie who sang that song about the rubber ducky.
Yep.
I kept seeing a cereal
It's
box
cute.
from like 1998, and it's
Oh,
Still in good shape?
yeah, it really is.
Where'd Snoopy go?
where's Snoopy?
Oh,
Oh, you
Hang
put
on.
him back?
hang on.
Yeah, I went on this
Oh, wait,
rant
he's gonna
with
go get him
me and
again.
Dave about Arthur.
Does anybody have a Garfield?
I
even
have a
blanket.
Garfield,
I
buddy.
even have a blanket.
Oh,
Good
oh,
job.
my God. It's cute.
Otis.
It's
That's
Snoopy on
Art,
his doghouse
Art.
and with
Does
Snoopy on
Isaiah
his
know
tummy.
the bird that's sitting
That's
on Snoopy?
adorable.
No, I was gonna ask, who is that yellow bird that is sitting
Name
on
is
top of-
Woodstock, Isaiah.
Oh, Woodstock. I thought
Name
it
is
was
Woodstock.
Otis.
He's named for a very famous rock and roll music festival held in the 60s,
1969.
Isaiah. And no, Elvis Presley didn't play at it.
No.
The dog in Garfield was Odie, right?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Odie.
And the cousin cat was normal.
Yeah, Nermal. It's so cute.
Nermal?
She kept getting sent to Abu
Yeah.
Dhabi through UPS or something.
There you go.
Oh, he got Odie.
Stewie!
Stewie is Odie, and I think that is Stewie that James has got there.
Stewie!
Hold on, let me grab something real quick.
That is so cool.
Mom.
What?
So we were talking about, he was talking about the iconic show, supposedly the iconic show Arthur that he thought was iconic, but
Since when?
Yeah, and I said to you,
Ew.
ooh,
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Pikachu! Pikachu!
Iconic show Arthur, really?
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Surprisingly, Pokemon's still on.
Yeah.
God, I can think of better cartoons
So
than
many
that one.
Pokemon shows, I can't keep up with any of them.
I know.
What did I bring myself into?
We were talking about. Well, we were getting ready to wrap up, and then you hopped on because we were talking about iconic shows.
Yeah, and then we brought in the 20th Amendment with Arthur. It was great. We tied that in perfectly.
God, Rugrats was better,
Long
Garfield
live
was
the
better,
king.
Tom and Jerry was better. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
Masters of
I have the power.
Orca was like the coolest thing ever. I loved
It
Orca.
was a little floating magical wizard. His
Yes.
spells always got
Transformers.
screwed up.
I wish I had something to hold up, but I really don't have anything to hold up for you right now.
Cartman.
That South Park is better than
South Park is better than Arthur.
Screw you guys.
It's a stuffed animal party on the show tonight.
Is that your baby there, Isaiah, from your marrying the stuffed animal that you did?
No, Isaiah
You want to
would have,
pull on the stuffed animal he proposed to?
Isaiah would have a Blue's Clues figure.
I do, somewhere.
I do somewhere.
Yeah,
What did I come into?
Yeah, you came into something weird. But
I
anyways,
guess.
Oh my god.
that was pretty much it. We were ending on the little Isaiah rant of the whole freaking Arthur thing. So,
Cartman.
wow, there
There you go. Perfect.
Hello Kitty.
Forget you, Cal.
Respect my authority.
Respect my authority.
All right. So,
I brought out Hello Kitty.
hey, Isaiah, there's a spider right above your head.
Bro, turn around. Turn around.
Spider!
There's a spider right above your head. All right. Well, that's going to be it. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up here. So, of course, Chris, you hopped on the last minute. Big
Yeah, that's fine.
messed around. You hopped on the last minute. But that's okay. So, Isaiah, any final thoughts for you, sir?
Yeah. My final thoughts is that it was a terrific show. It's such a great show because this doesn't even feel like a podcast. It feels like more of a party every time we do Kicking It with Isiah and Ace. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks to Chris, James, Callan, Christy, Dave, and Big P for hopping on along with myself and Ace. And I'm going to try to sleep tonight. I don't know how I will be able to sleep because my heart is still hurting. I'm still, very emotional from hearing the news that Arthur is ending, but I'll be able to manage to get through this. But great show, and tune in next week for another episode of Kicking It with Isiah and Ace on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. It's going to be great, and I love that dog doll that you got there, Callan. Wallace and Gromit, one of my favorite shows growing up.
Isaiah, this is not Wallace and Gromit. This is Odie from Garfield.
Oh my God,
It's Odie,
Wait, that's not
and he has
Gromit?
Snoopy, and I have Hello
It's
Kitty.
Otis. Oh my God.
So, I just have to throw this out there. Mess around, Dave. I have to let you know that right now I'm currently in the process of eating eggs. So there you go.
Oh.
And he's driving. Don't
Yes,
distract him.
You're driving along.
All right. So, Callan, any final thoughts?
Thanks again for letting me come on. The guy in square three, you lose again.
Yeah.
Simple as that. That's the motto of this network and over on MI6. Keep tuning in. I won't be on next week. I'll be at Disneyland next week with some friends visiting from out of state. So I'll catch you all the week after, more than likely.
All right. And James.
Thank you for having me on, and R.I.P. Arthur? Question mark.
Hail King Arthur! Long live the
Isaiah,
king!
look
There
behind
you
you.
go.
There's a ghost behind you, Isaiah. You gotta look. You gotta look.
Wrap around you, Isaiah.
Christy,
Like,
any
yeah,
final
what?
thoughts? Any final thoughts for you, Christy?
Just thanks for letting me hop on. It's always a lot of fun coming on here, and just looking forward to more awesome stuff.
All right, Big B, I know you weren't on long, but you can go ahead and give any final thoughts you might have.
Thanks for, I watched some of the show in my office, so you guys are having a great show. Interacting and ripping Isaiah is always fun. Just got off work, sit in the car, let it warm up, caught the tail end. So that's what I got going on.
I think Mess Around Dave's doing. Did he
He's driving
freeze?
home.
We don't know what the mess
driving.
around Dave's going.
It's driving along.
It's
that
rounds driving
scary
home,
highway.
I think he froze. All right, Chris, you want to throw anything out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully be on Between the Ropes on Sunday. Hopefully talking about Elimination Chamber and whatever else ends up happening. We'll see.
All right, Chris?
Yeah. Good show. I liked Arthur growing up as a kid, when I was little, but haven't seen it forever, so I don't know.
You grew up just unlike Isaiah.
Yeah, we
With
definitely
me having this rubber ducky right here, saying that.
we definitely want to thank everybody for watching the show. Of course, it's always a pleasure to have everybody come on here and jump on, and just enjoy some Kicking It with Isiah and Ace. It's always just a fun show to come on and hang out, talk up a little bit, kind of get after Isaiah, kind of roast him a little bit on the show. It's always fun.
He makes it so easy.
Oh, absolutely. He
Even a
makes it so
caveman
easy.
can do it.
Yeah.
He makes it so easy right now. But with
Just remember, Isaiah, my son's 1-0 on you in trivia.
before we and then
Do that.
I do want to throw this out right now, and I do want to give a shout out to my aunt who is currently just recently diagnosed with breast cancer. She's going to undergo surgery on Tuesday to where they can see how far the cancer has spread. So I'm wishing her a speedy recovery. So anybody who has any prayers out there, go ahead and send it our way. It's very much appreciated. Any help that we can possibly get, you can look it up on Meal Train there, which is basically just if you can help out, great. If you can't, I completely understand. The Meal Train is just to kind of help her with meals, so she's not having to sit there and cook every night. So mealtrain.com is the correct thing. So with that, I hope everybody has a fantastic night, and we will see you next Thursday
straight to hell
for another episode of Kicking It with Isiah and Ace. Have a great night.